guys, Tales of Turam here. We're here today with another side story for Draconia. It was or an interlude session. It was supposed to be a session for Tale of Steel and Flame, where we were going to go on a date with two of the main characters, going on dates with their wives. But the person who wanted to do the session didn't show up, and I called them, and they're sleeping.
Boo.
So that's going to be an automatic 3 marks for every time they fail to show up, because it's been 2 days in a row. 6 marks added, so I have a total of 11.
For all of us or only for them?
For all of it, and all. So marks carry over through games. And you guys can earn marks, which means I can fuck you over. It also means I could add more enemies to the combat. Like, if a creature is worth, if I'm like, okay, the combat's not that dangerous, I can spend 2 marks to add, like, 4 creatures or something.
Damn.
Or I could add more enemies, like, let's say a Lich is there, and I'm like, okay, let's add a little small bit of skeletons here, because they pissed me off. 1 mark, 10 skeletons. So, you guys can get really fucked over. Or I can make you re-roll good rolls. Or give you disadvantage on rolls. Or what I could do is have you roll with a minus 1d4. And I could use all my marks to give you minus 10 d4s, for example.
You have that many?
I have 10 marks. Well, sorry, I have 11 marks, specifically. But yeah, so, we decided, why not do this session instead, since Gesh is here, he has a new character. Oh yeah, we retconned a few things. So, we're gonna say the Rock Gnome never came back, never was put here. Gesh was revived properly, but his character is injured beyond ability to continue playing. So we said he's becoming a support character, and he can't really help in most battles without nearing death again. So he understands that. He can still roleplay him if he wants to at certain points, but the Rock Gnome is not a character anymore. That'll be an NPC I play, because I wanted them to be an NPC at first, but I was like, oh, it could be interesting. Gesh could play this. Oh, wait, no, he can't play because he kind of sucks at roleplay. But anyways. Okay. So yeah, we'll be starting after the party left for there. Okay, so yeah, we'll be introducing a new character. Let me just go ahead and get some music playing, because it shouldn't have any combat.
Shouldn't.
Additionally, by the way, if a move takes like 6 turns to recharge, for example, like Zarius's Sky Slash, or Himmelsbrecher, I should say, I can just use marks to completely negate that and allow them to do it multiple turns in a row. So, anyways, so the party has recently returned to Draconia. The party had weeks of downtime, wherein, at its end, Gesh was killed by Zarius, who the party discovered to be Zai. Eotis, using his title of Redeemer on the Shell World still, managed to convince Zai to turn back to them. Zai had attacked the party because Moria had threatened him due to some information learned from another game where she had been present for a bit, called Tale of Steel and Flame. Go watch it if you haven't. However, sorry, my mic wasn't pointed towards me. However, the party was able to revive Gesh with the help of Zai. He comes back a little broken, unable to be healed properly. The party would then spend another week of downtime trying to figure out what to do. Moria would eventually learn a spell that lets her communicate through the multiverse to other versions of herself. Using this, she speaks with Moria, a Hollister version of herself, who she has an interesting conversation with, finds out a little bit more about Muria's version of... what the fuck's his name? Ratouche. And might have to play in this version of Ratouche as well, but who knows? She then calls the king for a booty call, which ends up going on for a week, or the remaining 3 days. She sees Okran with his girlfriend, or his wife. Notices she looks almost exactly like herself. Eotis goes and fucks his wife. At the end of the week, Moria fully marries the king with the permission of the Lord of Eminence. The Sentinel has now married Moria, the King of Darath, in union with her. The party then joined up with the king, who said, hey, I want you guys to act as my guards on this ambassador mission. Eotis, you guys have an hour because I want to fuck my wife. The party understood this, went about the stuff doing an hour. Eotis hadn't returned. The king said, okay, take another hour to do whatever you want. The king talked with Okran, slammed him into a wall, and said, why are you fucking that woman who looks like my wife? Why does she have the same essence as my wife? What's going on? It seems Okran's wife was made from the essence of Moria, and is considered her daughter, in technicality. He told Okran, tell Moria, and if she doesn't kill you, I may forgive you. Okran told her. Okran took the blows of Moria pretty well, and left to go speak with Lumia. Eotis returned. Well, we had a little fun roleplay session with Eotis, where, let's just say, the tube sock was mentioned, and he got a new one, from his wife this time.
God.
The party then managed to calm themselves down. The king said he wished to speak with Lumia personally and get a feel of what the fuck she's doing, who she is, and then she would let her speak with Moria when she returned, crowning her the ambassador for the moment for Darath, as Moria failed to persuade him to not do this. The party was stepping out. Go ahead.
And he's speaking with Zelia, not Lumia.
Yes, Zelia, sorry. I get them fucking confused. The party was stepping out before Moria heard Theolin call for her aid, saying, you need to come get your children. She teleported there with the party, wherein they had a discussion, and Moria decided it would be best to take her children back. We'll go more into that depth when we actually do a session of Tale of Steel and Flame. Or an actual session of Draconia. But, for now, if we want to finish that, we can. I just don't think Tidal and Eotis really had anything, so I'm down to finish it if y'all want to, but I would prefer to have every player here for that one.
I would also prefer to have every player.
Same.
Okay, so I'm overruled. Okay, so, Moria.
Yeah.
And I'll say, this is a point where you could switch which characters in which campaign, V, if you wanted to. If you want Okran or Orion to return with Moria, I believe you would want Okran, correct?
I want Okran.
Okay, just making sure, because Orion could come with her instead, because she might have questions for him, or might be like, you are the key to not being attacked by Rotouche immediately. Blah blah blah. So, if that would be a point of interest, you guys can talk about it right now if you want, but I would like an answer.
Very sad that I didn't get to join this session. Very sad.
Moria, what do you think? Would Moria ask Orion to come and leave Okran behind for a bit?
Or
would she say,
probably not.
Yeah, or would she still still party with Okran?
She's still party with Okran despite feelings. She knows Okran's capabilities more than Orion's, and despite the revelation of Orion's ancestry, she thinks that she doesn't know Orion well enough to be like, abandon your island place, come chill with us for a second.
Okay. And I assume you're not switching to Theolin here, right?
No, it wouldn't make sense for Moria to stay on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when she has a diplomatic mission to Draconia on behalf of the king.
So, Moria.
Yeah.
You, Eotis, and Okran teleport back. You watch your Eotis go, apologies. Nature's calling. And he immediately flies towards an outhouse just in the middle of the forest, and you could hear as he starts to
Oh
shit.
god. Ugh.
I will say, Moria, as you're, like, disgusted, you breathe a heavy sigh as you look down, and Kohana's just holding onto your leg, and Ophelia, your daughter, is just in your arms. She seems a little uncomfortable in your arms at the moment.
Damn.
She's sleeping, but having missed her developmental stages, you could see why Thielen and Pyre recommended you take her back now, because she seems to be less clingy to you like she was when she was just born, rather than Thielen and Pyre, who she held on to a little bit and almost didn't let go of before you managed to get her into your arms again.
After a month? God damn.
Well, in-game, it's been like 2-ish months.
Really?
2
I
to 3
thought I
months,
gave
yeah.
them to her at the end of the 2 weeks of downtime, and then
But yeah,
after
no,
that,
hold on, because in technicality, you were it was actually during the 2 weeks of downtime you would have done that. So it would have been 1, 2, 3. You're right. Why am I thinking it's been a month or 2? I think I might have messed up some timeline here. So we will say it's been about a month and a half specifically, but you had already had her alive for like 3-4 months.
no, I
around-
remember that on the back. I'm
So-
just surprised.
The key developmental stage of like walking and starting to realize who her parents are to an extent, not realizing like who's around her, like she's starting to realize who's around her and who cares for her, was spent kind of with Thielen and Pyre at the beginning of it, if not at the most important part of it. So you get the feeling that she kind of recognizes them as her family at the moment, and it's going to take some time before she'll start to recognize you instead. Because that was a big core memory for her.
Alright, shit.
I will say, in her sleep, she is starting to warm up to you just a little bit as she does snuggle against your big breasts.
Yeah. Okay, shit. I can't take her with me to Draconia, but
You could. You know what's some power move? Showing the rest of the world that you and Surrectus have a fucking kid.
I mean, yeah, that would be a power move.
People who are like, oh, they're just marrying because they're both going to be nobility soon would be like, oh shit. But it would
Get a
also
kid.
leave them in danger.
Yeah, I know. And if Fortusha ever sees that, oh well, they already know I have children. Never mind.
You hear in your mind, well, you hear from the outhouse, Moria, if you want, I can watch the kids back here. I'll be a few minutes though.
No, no. Hmm. I need a harness.
By the way, Kohana, at this point, has run over to you, Okran, and given you a hug too, and looks up to you with bright eyes because she recognizes you as like an uncle to an extent, and she's starting to climb up your back towards the tree.
Careful now. You don't want to fall.
Okran, as she touches your back, I'm gonna roll D100 here real quick.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okran, roll me a wisdom save.
F.
Oh no.
This is not good. Eight, 9, 20.
Imagine not having the
Oh,
character sheet
oh.
open.
24.
You see a vision pass through your mind. Looking around, you see... I want to say... a beautiful glade that you've never been to. Large water, large bits of blue water. Around you is this beautiful bits of white. There's a large marble altar in the center of this pond, this large pond, rushing rapids around you. And you could see mist surrounding you. And as you look around for a second, the water becomes a bit more murky and murkier and darker. It starts to pollute almost before you come back to. And Kohana's just sitting under the tree. I will say, Moria, you watch because you have a high passive perception. Is like Kohana gets up to the top and touches the tree. Suddenly, her eyes flash, and so do Okrin's for a second before she falls down by the tree and looks. She falls down to the tree and just like starts pulling out toys like nothing happened. But Okrin seems to have this, like this out of breath. Okrin, roll a con save for me.
The room.
24.
You did not gain a point of
Synchronicity.
exhaustion. Okay. You would have gained exhaustion had you failed either of those checks.
Damn.
It would have been 2 if you failed both.
Damn. Kohana, are you alright?
I'm fine. Why do you ask? And she looks down and she's like has this like action figure of you that's been created for her. You can see this beautiful tailored dress that looks exactly like yours, for example. Like this beautiful coat that's on her that flows in the little bits of wind that pass through. You see a design on the back. Your perception picks up a single name. That the only difference to it is emblazed in the like very fine, intricate pieces of the silk is the name Joseph.
Hey.
It's a nice pale wood that seems to have this like silk hair that falls backwards. And it seems to be you fighting against a small miniature version of Theolin, and it seems Theolin's winning.
Oh. Well, Joseph would be biased, of course.
Of course you would.
But no. She's holding the 2 action figures and making them fight. But it looks like Theolin's winning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kohana, I better not be losing.
And she puts them both away. She pulls out a small cube instead and like starts to match colors on it, trying to get each side the same.
A
I'm
Rubik's
kidding,
Cube.
dearest.
No. It's called a Kohana cube.
Please make the canon now. In like 10 years. The Kohana Cube.
Anyways, I'm fine. Yes.
Your eyes were glowing, and so is Okrin's. But as long as you're
eyes
okay.
glow, Okrin?
Not normally.
Oh, that's boring. And she goes back to playing with her cube.
You're damn right, he's boring.
Okrin, what are these? She holds up No.
No. If that happened, I would kill you. Alright, well. I have to go to Draconia. Well, we have to go to Draconia. And I have to take my daughter with me because I can't entrust her with anybody else.
And to this
Well, my
point,
similar.
the two of you, as you're like, my similar, you both immediately turn to your right as you hear a bush shaking. What's your stealth check?
Show yourself.
Gesh?
Oh, sorry.
What's your stealth modifier? Plus 10.
12.
You guys see, like, pushing out of the bushes and, like, throwing off dirt that's seemingly fucking perturbed by being lost in this forest and fucking hating it. Is this Drow? Gesh, describe your character, please.
Okay, give me a second.
Don't post it yet. Describe it and then post it, please.
You see this beautiful drow lady who is about 6 foot, has pale gray skin, yellow eyes, and long white hair. She wears. Give me a second. I need to figure out how to describe it. Just for a second.
If you look at the description, Gesh, I can
I
send
know.
you.
I know. I have it.
Okay.
She wears a long red trench coat.
Oh no.
Black a black and gray buttoned silk vest with gold colored designs and accents, a long black
You
shirt,
motherfucker.
and a white caveat.
You goon. You
You
absolute goon.
motherfucker.
Long black
You-
skirt, by the way, which is a bit torn as she's been walking through. Continue.
She has a very smug expression on her face. The scale and her skin is gray lavenderish color.
You goon. You absolute goon. How dare you?
As you
How
see
dare you.
stepping out, you immediately recognize, because it's been probably seconds since you've seen yourself in a mirror, Moria, what seems to be an almost direct reflection of you, but a drow. And she's in a skirt instead. If you would like to post your character, Gesh.
Absolute goon. How dare you?
Look at the name. Look at the name.
I fucking knew it.
Drawia? Are you
Hey,
Australia.
Oh, it was Goblin's idea.
It was
okay?
my idea. I was like, you know what would be funny?
The whole
Actually
party is
worked
gonna
out.
be a bunch of Morias.
Yeah,
We need
do
everyone
you
to
guys
retire.
know what Goblin said in like Goblin Art? Hey, this could have been you. He took that personally.
We
These
need a whole
motherfuckers.
party of Morias at this point.
Stepping-
Yodas and
Yes.
Okra need to retire.
Stepping
Same with-
forward,
No.
Moria, you see this woman step out, put her hands on her hips, and look towards your group. Joria, you look towards this stranger group, and you immediately ping another version of yourself. Holding a child in their arms, and a child that just scurried away from them up to the big tree man.
Oh my, this is very interesting.
Are you kidding me? First, there was. Well, I'm not gonna tell Okran over here. They might thirst over me again.
You
And
can
then-
tell me.
No. There was
Oh,
that woman, and then there was Okran's wife. And now there's you! Another one who looks just like me, but just a bit different.
yeah, the change was more involuntarily. Some experiment gone a little bit wrong.
I see. Were you? What? All right. What is your name? I suppose, though I have a feeling I know exactly what it is.
My name is Drawia Silver Snow.
Of course it is. Are you from this timeline, or are you from a different one?
Oh, I'm most definitely from another timeline.
I figured as such, since I'm from, well, not this one either. Now that I think about it, but I know who is.
Well, it
I just feel-
depends. Who is the current ruler of Mustetheth?
Winter Silver Snow.
Yeah, no, this is a different universe. In my universe, I am the queen.
You motherfucker. Well, of course we would. We are me.
Of course. So,
I'm
Roll me
already
a
not
charisma
like
saving throw.
No.
Mario, roll
With
me a
advantage. With
charisma.
advantage.
Mario, roll me a charisma saving throw.
No.
No.
No, she
Aw.
doesn't like drows.
Oh, are you sure about this?
I'm sure. Your character was different, that's why.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
that's gonna be a failure if you want to reroll.
Nope.
I
I'm
mean,
re-rolling
I
that.
Okay,
wanted
make-
to
make
play
one.
Moria, but Goblin said no.
Turn it off. Yeah, I said no, I have plans for her.
Oh, boy. Good plan, though.
15.
That's a failure.
God damn it.
Is there any way they can succeed this?
There is.
With a nat
Nat
beyond a
20?
nat 20?
Yeah, beyond that 20.
Oh.
DC 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think about this for a
By one.
second.
DC 16 will try one more time.
Natural 1.
Double net one. I would have.
17.
Watching this woman walk and talk reminds you of the old Moria, and you have to like hold down your hands for a second. You're like, oh gosh, and you look down towards your shell, and you feel underneath it. You start to get a little turned on, and you're like, oh no, and you think about it. You think about your wife. Oh god, she looks like Moria still, but you manage to calm yourself as you think about the differences between these two ladies and your wife, and also because there's a
Hi.
child on your back at the moment.
Oh my, seems like someone almost got excited for me.
Don't you
How
dare talk about Okring that way. No, no, no,
I
No. Just.
no. Okran, I forbid you
rather
to
not
fuck
go through it.
anyone that is even related to me.
What's fuck?
Kohana, don't worry about it.
Well,
Okay.
technically, I'm not related to you. I
You are
am you.
you are me. You know what?
We are not
Also, Okran,
related.
I forbid you to have relations with any version of myself from any timeline. I forbid it.
Hey, that's
You're
my
bad to
choice,
you're
not
bad to sticking to
yours.
promises, but hopefully you'll listen to this one.
I would make that promise, but you know, a little too late on that one at this point.
A failure once again. What did I expect? Anyways, I don't know what to call you. You are a drow. Is your name really that simple?
Yes, it is. I wasn't
God.
born to draw my.
So you were named Drowia before you were a drow.
Yes.
No, she wasn't. I will say she wasn't. You just decided, you know what? Let's take the name. Because out of character, the
It's,
DM did not want you to fucking be Moria and Moria too.
I decided to take that name up just for funsies.
We could have been a bit more creative, but I guess there is a beauty in
I will say,
simplicity.
guess you do know your actual name, and I will tell you what it was before you became Drauria.
Okay.
Continue.
A little simplicity goes a long way, I suppose. This will, in fact, differentiate us. Though I'm in the middle of I'm about to venture on a diplomatic mission to Draconia, so having someone that looks exactly like me but a drow will spark a interesting debate among the higher courts.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you out of character, Drow in Turam. Who they are enslaved, they are hated, they are considered monsters. They are any creature from the Underdark, the dark dwarves, or should I say we'll call them the deep dwarves and the deep elves because that's what they are in my new system coming up. They were destroyed, enslaved, killed on sight. There are very few free Drow and Duragar people, and most of them have turned to banditry, such as you would know the Black Web pirates from I can't remember the name. Oh yeah, Blackwater in the Mythical Sea.
well, if I'm allowed to ask. First off, before I ask, I guess that though you are the same person, you have the same name, right?
My name is Moria, yes. I assume you
Oh,
yours
never
from
mind
Moria
then.
to
We have
Drow.
different
Uh,
names.
Your nickname would have been Moria specifically, but that would not be your full name, Gesh.
Moria was my nickname in the past. My full name was Morelia, so was no.
hmm. How interesting. I wonder if my spell couldn't pick them up because I specified Moria.
No, it reached me. It pinged me, but then something last minute changed this. I'm not entirely sure. I've decided to follow this magical signature to here.
Of course you did. We are one and the same after all. Intelligent.
Yeah. If I'm allowed to ask, who is your partner? Because I guess this is your child.
This is my child. I am married to King Seractus of Duran.
You see instantly that her expression becomes a little bit sour at the mention of his name. I understand.
I don't think you do, but whatever. Judging by your expression, you are not the biggest fan.
Not really, because of something that happened in my timeline.
How unfortunate. I would ask, but I don't believe I have the time. I'm already supposed to have left, but this encounter has stalled me. I.
Terribly sorry for that.
We both know we're not.
Of course we aren't. I was just trying to be polite.
Hmm. Politeness is a virtue, I suppose. Let's.
It goes a very
Hmm.
long way to manipulate someone.
It does, doesn't it? Anyways, We don't have a lot of time, and I don't want you just milling about my house. I will formally invite you to join us, but I may have to visit my husband again to summon some garb for you, so you're seen as my guardian instead of how should I say, a slave.
Ah. Well, I do not have an outright problem with him. I can deal with him, but I just don't like him.
You will not speak any hostility toward my dear husband. You
At this
understand?
point, Ophelia starts to cry and whine in your arms as she looks up to you, and she doesn't really recognize you much. You could feel your hands are getting cold, but there seems to be no hostility from her, so it's just more of a warning.
I'm gonna try and calm him
She
down.
could also see you're getting a little bit a little tense at the moment. So seeing this, she's also getting a little bit tense as well.
I'm gonna try and calm her down.
Okay, make me a persuasion check. I'll give you. I would have given you advantage from being her mother, but because you haven't seen her in a month or so and you missed that crucial development phase, or at least the start of it. Nah.
That's really
29.
sad. Man.
29. As you touch yourself and cast guidance, you look down towards your child, and what do you say to soothe them?
Oh shit! I thought I could just soothe them. Okay, I actually have to speak.
You could speak,
Uh,
or you could. How do you soothe them?
I'll rock them a little bit and hum a little tune that I remember the only fond memory I have of my mother.
Alright. As you do so, you can see that she's also reaching up for your breasts. It seems that she is hungry.
Okran, turn around this instant.
Yeah. As Oker's going to look away.
Uh, we're the same person, I don't care. And I turn slightly, and I feed my child.
Gesh, as you look, you're like, you have one breast, you have one nipple, and you look down to your three. No. 3 on each. They're all pepperoni sized. Holy shit.
Shut up.
No, but you watch as she feeds her child, and eventually Ophelia is burped and falls back asleep in her arms.
She's very cute.
Thank you.
As she burps, by the way, there's this frost of energy that comes out of her mouth. It completely permafrosts the lawn for a second.
Oh, how interesting.
Very. She's my child, though, so it's to be expected.
It is, but she really seems to have some sorceric abilities.
Yes, as much as it loathes me, though, she will come to be my sole exception. Beyond Tadal, but he's on track to getting rid of that. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Who's this Tadal?
An Azamar, who's a sorcerer that hates their blood and wishes to be a wizard. Very admirable.
How nice. I remember when I was a wizard. Good times.
You changed? Why would you ever change? Being a wizard is the fucking best.
I know, but after experimenting on some roleplay, it has changed me not only in appearance.
You poor thing.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get you back to a wizard one day. Though we shouldn't do this so immediately. We don't know what your experiment has affected your body.
Moira, roll me a
Beyond.
perception check as you're saying this. Continue, though.
Alright.
Beyond.
Yeah, that has given me some handy powers.
21.
As she says this, you smell a sorcerer.
Ugh.
You could also see upon their body, which you went shadow, right?
Yes.
You could see small patterns of this shadow that seems to course across their veins, and you recognize the shadowed mark of a sorcerer, of shadow sorcery.
You poor sorcerer. Ugh.
It has its upsides and downsides.
Yeah, but sorcery. We'll fix you. We'll fix you.
Thanks.
Ah,
It's so funny.
my darling Ophelia will be the only exception, beyond it all. But as stated earlier, he
And your
doesn't want to
nephew.
be. And my nephew. My nephew. I have three sole exceptions.
And yourself.
I am not a
You
sorcerer.
have meta magic.
I do have metamagic adept. I copied their abilities through pure magical study.
And your sister.
And my sister can be an exception if we manage to redeem her.
Your
If
sister can
not,
get
then
some.
she's a bitch.
Sheesh.
No! I have four major exceptions, one of which is kind of teetering on the edge. Anyways, let me summon my dear husband and have him conjure up some garb for you so you're seen with my party. And
But there
then I guess
are some beautiful garbs.
yes, I know, but you're not flying the colors of this country, so the draconian people might mistake you for a slave, and I will never be mistaken for a slave.
Of course, that would be beneath us.
Exactly. I call for Surrectus with the sending spell. Surrectus, dearest, another version of myself has appeared. She's drow, need armor, or garb, pretty please.
You guys hear the sound of running, and then eventually the door opens, and Structus looks out and goes, I heard there was need of me, my dear. And he looks over and
Hi, dear.
sees like, I was gonna make a whole Eotis joke where like he runs out and sniffs your feet, but that wouldn't be Structus. But no, he runs out and goes, dear, you need to... okay, there's a drow. You weren't lying about that. She does look extremely like you. Except she's a drow.
She's made from another timeline.
I must
I
say,
have-
dear, still sexy, but I prefer you.
I know. I'm always sexy, no matter the timeline.
No,
Anyways,
I tried to get rid of that. Poor
Oh,
drow
actually,
thing.
I don't believe you've actually met her. This is Ophelia, your daughter.
he immediately looks over and like sees Ophelia and steps over to you a bit, and then gets between you and the drow and just stares at Ophelia. You see, he just like gets lost for a second, staring at his daughter. Oh, sorry,
Come on,
sorry.
say hi.
And he like takes her off your shoulder and stares at her in her eyes as she seems to open her eyes for a second. Hello, Ophelia. I am Surrectus, your father. I don't know what to do here.
That's fine.
Take her back, please.
All right.
And he, like,
Now-
he gingerly hands her to you. You can see that he's never held a child probably before.
You'll get better at this.
I hope I would. Now, are you planning on taking our daughter to the ambassador mission?
It'd be a funny power move, but honestly, beyond that fact, I don't really have anyone to look after her. Well, you could if you were willing, but
I could, but
I have the feeling that you wouldn't really know what to do, and that's fine, dearest.
oh no, please don't.
Don't what?
Don't leave her with me. I think I'd kill her, and not
Yes,
intentionally.
Yes, that's why I'm going to not.
Okay. Well, and he like takes off his like cloak for a second, and he goes, give me 1 second, and he like picks up a few sticks and just starts strapping them together and makes a harness for you. That should work. And you, Drow, I'm gonna call you Drowria. Drowria.
That's her name.
Oh, well, I guess I'm good at guessing things.
You are good at guessing things.
He like pulls out a separate piece of clothing and just throws it to you. Put that on.
Thank you a lot.
Check this, don't stare.
Sarah, who?
Me. Stare at me, not her.
I apologize, and he like whispers in your ear, I'm gonna be honest. Besides, if she was a drow, I couldn't tell you two apart.
I know, it's weird. It's uncanny. Well, she is me from another timeline. You should have seen Moria, who's like a cow person. I
Moria, you
spoke with her.
say?
Okrin, you hear this?
No.
Did you just say Moria? I
Shush.
suppose it is a
Shush, 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 shush,
small
shush.
No,
version of
Okrin,
her.
Go,
you
Daria,
hear the
start
name
changing.
Moria, who's a cow person.
Oh, how interesting.
I'm
I would love to
I'm not
meet
even
her.
going to. I'm not even going to ask.
That's right, you better not.
Maria, might you introduce me to this Moria? She seems
Well, I
interesting.
can't.
Gesh, what's your passive
can't.
perception to see if you even heard that?
16.
16, you heard it.
But I'm also like right next to them.
Yeah, a little bit. But anyways, I think we should stop talking about alternate timeline versions of my wife and how sexy they are. But we should talk more about the ambassador mission. You are going to speak with Zai, the one of the council members of the Aryan Heights. But I heard he's
Fine.
out for the moment. And if I recall correctly, he's staying in this house, which is very strange. Why is that, if you
It's
don't mind me asking?
complicated.
There's Arius.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you said he was Zarius.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zari, we have a bit to discuss, and he starts to walk in. Speak with
Please don't
Garmin.
kill him.
Speak with Garmin.
Oh, Garmin.
Make a persuasion check for me. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
25.
25. He looks at you for a second, and you can see that, like, murderous look in his eyes for a second, and he looks over towards Ophelia, who's resting peacefully on your shoulder. And you see that look just disperse for a second as he sighs and walks in.
Garmin has some shady business with the church. It's not going to be fun talking to him. Oh, actually, dear, what am I allowed to offer? This is your kingdom. I don't know what resources I can expend.
I wish for you to just understand what they wish, what they want from us first. That will be your mission. But look good in the eyes of the public, please. Don't go around killing people. It doesn't
I
look
always
good.
look good.
Also, don't try to sexually seduce anybody, because you are announced as my betrothed, and you have been married to me currently. If you try to sexually seduce somebody, even if it isn't going to happen, it'll look bad on both you and me.
Who do you take me for? I only sexually seduced you, dearest.
Oh, too bad.
I sexually seduced you. Nope, that's not true.
You're damn right it didn't. I rocked that beauty contest.
Of course you did. We are the most beautiful.
Exactly. See, Draria gets it.
Dear, take care of our child, please. Don't let her go wandering off. And who is that kitsune up there?
My adopted daughter.
Understood.
You don't. Her name is Kohana.
Well, if Kohana would like to stay with me, she can, because a kitsune would cause a lot more trouble than our daughter.
Kohana, dear, would you like to stay with Serectus?
He looks so cool! And she's gonna jump
He is
off
cool.
you, Okrin, and go, "Sorry, Uncle Okrin, but I want to stay with the cooler guy." And she runs over to Serectus.
You're right, he is cooler.
Hucker just shakes his head. It's quite alright, I understand.
She runs up and, like, puts her arms up, and you see Serectus, and he, like, lifts her up to his face. "Hello,
Don't-
I am Serectus Vaughn, King of Darath. Who are you?" Fuck, what's her name?
Kohana.
Hana.
I'm sorry. I'm
Out of character,
Kohana.
Yash is,
Go ahead.
out of character, Yash is there to help.
I'm Kohana. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. And he's like just holding her like at full arm length away from him, and he just like looks to you and goes, "I'll make sure she doesn't run off and do anything stupid." And he like walks into the door, holding her still at full arm length, like confused.
Awkward
As
dad
he's
energy. I'm loving this.
Out of character, he that's him, yeah.
I never thought.
Okran is gonna say as he walks in, "Don't worry, I'm sure you'll get a bit more used to it.
I hope so.
It just takes time."
I hope so, especially with 2 more on the way. And he walks in.
Huh? Oh God, not again.
Well, Maria, if you recall, you already knew that you were pregnant with 2 children.
Yeah.
One prior and one that seems to have been created in your womb after the first one due to the other sexual relation you had with him. However, which is strange to you because usually that shouldn't happen.
Oh
Yeah.
my, you really are having a lot of children.
Okay, I've had 2, adopted 1. I technically have 3.
And that's not a lot to you.
It's fewer than my billions.
Oh,
Huh?
hush. Hush. He has a world on his back. He views everyone on there as his children, even if they're not.
Even
Okay,
the
yeah,
woman he
that.
fucks.
I care about them. No,
Well, if you really,
okay, okay. That makes it sound really fucking
if
rude.
you're gonna view everyone on your back, then your wife is your daughter.
Eh, There are
Ooh.
exceptions.
Ooh.
There are exceptions.
There are exceptions now. Okay.
Ooh, that's a burn.
Moria, you immediately.
Yeah.
I'll say make an insight check, and Okran, make me a deception check.
Yeah.
26.
Open is not liking how this is going. Alright, let's see. Deception. I don't think I'm presented that, am I? No, I'm not.
Wait, did I do this right? Insight. Yeah, I did that right. Okay, fine.
Five.
What'd you roll?
5?
I rolled a 26.
Okran, please describe what he sees in your eyes when you mention, when she mentions your technical wife, and you say I make exception. Like, I'll say your character thinks back to the scene with Moria and the events that transpired after. But what does he see? Does she see? Does she see no remorse? Does she see a look of, like, this is a 26 to a 5, so think of like the most detail you can. I will say at this point she is understanding that though you feel sorry for breaking the promise, you don't feel sorry for fucking her daughter. But continue. Give me in more detail what that means
So
and what she sees.
there is regret in the fact that he broke the promise and that it happened the way that it did. However, there is no regret in the end result because it is quite clear that he cares greatly for Azalea. And on top of that, as she mentions this specifically, he's reminded that not all on his back are his creations, and he seems to remember that, but almost doesn't seem to want to admit that he didn't. It's a bit of a reminder in his eyes that of the how do I put this? How little he knows of his own world. Just kind of flashes across his eyes for a moment. But all in all, he still does believe that he does realize that perhaps calling all of them his children is not quite correct.
That's what you get. You get the feeling that he's thinking about his act, what he just said, as well as he does not apologize for fucking your daughter.
Mm.
No, I apologize for fucking the daughter. I do not apologize for fucking the daughter. There's a difference.
For fucking what?
Yeah, totally.
For what? What's the difference here? Okran?
Difference is the difference is he's apologetic for the fact that he broke the promise, but he still does love Azalea.
So he's sorry he broke the promise, he's not sorry he fucked the daughter. Alright.
Basically.
Okay. That's what you see.
Drawia, don't get too close to Okran.
Why?
I don't want to have to explain it. Just don't get too close.
No, no, no. Please explain it.
He's
You know
horny
that
for us, kind of.
that's
I have
flattering, isn't it?
It's not flattering.
a wife now, Moria.
Who's made of my magical essence, my daughter, and all but genetic.
Oh, that's something.
Definitely something.
Out of
And
character
I,
here, I want to be honest with you. She is made of your genetics as well, but we'll get over to that later in the game
okay.
when you look into it more.
Broken just gets
And
more and more fucked.
anyways, I have to go. We have to go meet with Garmond now. He has business dealings, I believe, with the Cult of Knowing, and has done some shady shit. But we will not act on it. We will not act on this insight. I am on a mission of a diplomatic nature. You are dressed, right, Mora? Or Drow?
Yeah.
She's in the middle of getting dressed, I'll say. Okrin is not looking, respectfully.
Yeah.
He's looking very
Okrin, the
respectful.
sounds of the buttoning and the zips make me have the charisma saving throw.
Bro, I'm trying to stay loyal to my wife here, man.
You got a high ass perception, motherfucker.
I know.
I'll give you a guidance, why not?
You're not close enough to touch him.
Oh, I'm not?
You
Okay.
can give him DM's inspiration guidance.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
That's
I'll
a
do it to
whole...
myself.
No, don't do it to yourself, Okrin.
20.
30-20.
What's your charisma score, Gesh?
22.
Okrin. You can definitely
I don't
feel
like
that you need to step away for a second to maybe relieve some tension.
I really don't like you. I will be back.
You guys can see he starts to walk weird towards the house.
Jaya, get fucking dressed. I have a diplomatic mission to go to.
She finishes zipping up her leather skin suit and black leather fucking suit or whatnot, and putting on the blues, whatnot, whatever she wears. I will let you describe it, Gesh, if you want. Many zippers and buttons. Gesh, you there? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Describe what you're wearing. It has to have some blues to it.
It's a very similar outfit basically, but the red is switched with a complete blue. It's basically a color change to blue.
Sure thing. Alright, your outfit is now blue instead, with palettes of white and purple as well, to match your skin tone. As Dralia is now finished, and Okrin finishes. Okrin, I'll say make a perception check, if you don't mind. Or an investigation check, your choice.
Let me use the perception first. I guess I'll do that. Let's see. Let's hope I don't regret this. 28.
That's a success, if you want to continue with that.
Yeah.
So, as you begin to enter into the house, you're like, stay loyal to my wife, stay loyal to my wife, stay loyal to my wife. I need to find somewhere where I can get this monster down. And as you start to walk towards your room, you enter it, and you see your wife there sitting on the bed. Azalea just looks at you and goes, "Oh, well, I was gonna come find you. It looks like you found me. Let's get this dealt with before you go." And she's gonna close the door, and I will say, Okrin,
Yep.
I'll give her a performance check here first. Okay. Performance check for me. Or persuasion check first. Persuasion check first.
Yeah.
That's a failure if you want to reroll.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
22.
Your wife sucks you off at first, but eventually it leads to a sexual relation with your wife. Roll a con save.
Roll a con save. Okay. That's 21.
For a good, I'd say 20 minutes. Moria, you are speaking with Droria, getting a bit more information about her world and how she got here. You can just barely hear at the tinges of your ears your daughter moaning from inside the house, and Okran as well, and the sound of a bed creaking.
What's wrong, Mom?
I could hear them fucking.
You mean Okran with your daughter?
Yes, it annoys me.
Hey,
I'm
if
surprised you can't hear it. You have your big old drow ears.
Yeah, but I am not that perceptive.
Hmm.
It has been weird for coming into this universe and coming
I
into
imagine you're a little discombobulated.
Yeah. This is weird for me.
So what happened to Winter?
She is
She's what?
she's dead.
I believe I mentioned specifically, because we went over
Yeah.
this, Gesh.
I think I mentioned that she was killed.
Let's see. Nope. If you read that last sentence in the first paragraph.
Oh, no, never mind.
Unless you want to try deceiving here. If you want to try deceiving here,
Nope,
you can.
no, never mind. Then I have just misread it. She is currently in the dungeons of Mustafa.
Oh, did you successfully coup her?
She tried to coup me while I was the Archmage. She tried to kill me to get an alliance with Dorath.
Oh, so are you the bitch of a sister in your timeline?
No, she's still
A
she's
bitch?
still
I
bad,
understand.
yeah.
I understand. Well, in this timeline, Winter's an omega bitch. Same with this timeline's version of myself. Tried to draw runes on my skeleton.
That made it sound like
Try-
Winter tried to do that. You mean your
Yeah,
your own timeline
yeah.
self? Okay, okay.
Yes, yeah. No, key tried being the key, being the operative word. I was ascending as a vampire and managed to fully transform myself in the nick of time, and he was a coward and modified memory me for a bit, but a greater restoration restored my true memory.
What an asshole!
I know. I'm gonna kill him.
I will gladly help you with that.
Oh, absolutely. That'd be great.
Him trying to manipulate us into doing what he wants.
Exactly. No, we manipulate other
Unacceptable.
people.
Exactly.
Exactly. We don't get manipulated. We manipulate other people. That is the cardinal rule of be nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to coup against my sister. Because she's a bitch. And
Well,
being queen of Marcella sounds like fun.
I suppose that's also a reason for doing that.
But also, dear sister is a bit more of a bitch and insane due to me making a deal with the devil to make our parents insane and having them killed in the end.
Oh no, you didn't.
I did.
I am disappointed.
Mm,
Devil of all beings.
I know, but dear sister had destroyed months of research in a fit of rage, and parents and dearest mother and father decided to take her side over mine. So rather than kill them outright, I decided to try and make them insane. Unfortunately, the crown of Mandus was not in my spell list at the time, so I relied on the help of a devil.
Moria, as you try to recall back to the events You were sure that was the reason why. But things start to blur a bit, and you're like, fuck's going on? Make me an intelligence save.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
Natural 20 for 37.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
Goddamn, motherfucker.
I know, right?
So, as you think
More is
back,
that big.
something doesn't feel right about that memory. You remember thinking that at first. And you remember coming back into your laboratory one night. You recall hearing the shouting of your noble parents between them and some individual in another room, but you just going back to your laboratory to, whatever, finish up this experiment you have. And then you recall, the sound of steel on flesh. And then you recall, make me a perception check. Because you've been greater restoration a lot of times already.
Is 19 a success, or should I...
That would be a failure.
Alright, I'm gonna DM's inspiration then.
This is a devil's influence, so that is a failure of the 19.
23?
23. What did you roll on the dice?
12.
Yeah, that would be a failure.
I'll do it again. Hold on, let me just mark off the first one. And then I'll do it again to make it a 4. So, 20 plus 9 plus 1 4. That's worse. I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's... God damn, okay.
Does anybody want to make them re-roll or give them some other... Like, you can't give them the D4 anymore, or advantage. But you could give them a DM's inspiration, yeah?
What is in the dice shop?
Oh, I forgot to roll those. My bad. Sorry. Take those back really quickly. And well, we won't take them back just yet. But there's a 6, a 7.
Oh, DM's inspiration, blah, blah, blah. Okay,
What else is in this one?
6, 7,
13, 14.
13, 14,
2, and a 19.
2. Oh, I could use that 19. And the D100s.
So I will say, how many DM's inspirations do you have first?
Hold on.
After getting rid of the extra ones.
Where's my... well, how many more times was it? 2. So I have 2.
How many do you use?
In total, I've used 4 total so far.
No, I mean with this reroll stuff.
She had 4, she used 2.
I had 4, I used 2.
Okay. I will say, because I made a mistake and didn't roll this at the beginning of the game, I will give you an extra one and let you take all those rolls back if you want to use it to buy the 19 instead.
Well, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so get rid of all your DM's inspiration, but you get a 19 dice instead. So get rid of that from this dice shop. But also, the D100s are a 25.
Oh, 25?
An 80.
80.
An 82.
82.
A 95.
Oh, 95.
A 65.
65.
Come on, be a 69. 87.
Alright, I've done that.
Get rid of your DM's inspiration. And what does a 19 put you at if you want to roll a D4 for me?
Well, at the very...
29.
29, that's a success.
Alright, I did get rid of my things. It would have gotten 4 back.
You would have gotten an extra one back as well, so that would have been 5 to buy it.
Yeah, 5 added on to that. Yeah, I'm currently at where I would be. Actually, I need to get rid of one, but yeah, my math is right there. Yeah, So I have two. I have two remaining.
You don't recall the exact details of it, but you see rushing in to your laboratory are your parents. And you recall before this, you can't recall, but you recall your parents rushing in with your sister. And they immediately pull out their weapons and stand at the door as they begin to bar it with two of their knights. One of the knights seems to stop. Well, both the knights stop and look towards them, and they say, "Lady Silver Snow, Lord Silver Snow, it's been an honor." As they both rush out of the room as your mother and father bar the doors to your laboratory, and you hear the sounds of combat outside. You see your mother and father pull out their weapons, and they seem to hold the doors shut as much as they can. Your mother runs over to you and leans down to you and whispers something into your face, but you can't hear what she says. It seems to ring in your ears, and it's this tinnitus-like feeling. She says something to you, and she looks at you with a face of a motherly love. You hadn't, from your memories, she was kind of a bitch. She didn't really like you. There were moments, but why are you remembering this memory different? And you see your father there is holding the door as it's bursting and bursting and trying to open. And you watch her look towards your laboratory, your experiments that are going on. Describe the experiment for me, please. I will say, actually, no. The experiment is your first interludes into the clone spell.
Yeah.
You see the other pieces of, like, half-revived bodies of yourself, notes written down. You almost had it when you were this young. You were a genius, after all. But you see your mother looks around, nods, and then she starts to pull out a large rapier she has and starts to stab into your tanks and everything as she starts to cast spells on other pieces, burning your notes, burning other things, destroying your work, and you're wondering what's going on before suddenly the door opens and you see your father just split to pieces as his body scatters across the floor. You can't see the assailant. The assailant has this aura around him. Or her. You can't tell. But they move like a swift wind. And you see multiple of these other dark auras appear off them, appearing into the laboratory itself as your mother looks around and looks towards your sister as she rushes towards this assailant. It's a quick battle. As she pushes forth, you see a sword stab through her. As she stabs towards it, a little bit of blood sprays off of the assailant. But you see suddenly your mother's body, her torso just explodes. You watch as your sister looks to you and starts to yell to you, but you can't hear, you can't see. Everything is starting to tunnel vision, and you watch your sister takes a staff and starts to destroy your research even further. And you don't know what's going on. You don't know why they're doing this. As you try to go and stop your sister, she smacks you in the side of the head, and as you go to punch her back, suddenly a tank falls down and slams onto the side of your head, a corner of it, and you fall unconscious to the ground as the last bits of information pouring through your minds are a contract, a deal, struck on behalf of the assailants, you and your sister. A circle of glowing magic and this bone devil that appears, reaching over, grabbing the souls of your parents out of the room itself and putting them into a jar, holding it on its left-hand side, a leather strap that seems to attach to this large mason jar, and it looks to reach out to you before the assailant slaps its hand, and you hear the name Oriel. I won't go into the voice because you don't recall the voice of the character, you just recall the words. Oriel, we have already made this deal. Do not make me destroy you or turn you in. Surion will gain what he wants. Moros, or Moria, whatever they turn into, is important to my goals. And this research though destroyed, will be completed in the future. I need it. You've got what you've come for. Leave. And you watch as Oriole rushes over to your sister's body. One more piece for the bargain to be complete. As he reaches towards the back of your sister's head and pulls this long cord of gossamer blue before it strays and breaks as he pulls a small piece of what seems to be her intellect and eats it before he looks to him. The deal has been struck. Make me a perception check as he seems to say the name of the assaultant.
Sorry, boys.
Goblin, look at my DMs. Am I right about my guess?
You gain as Droria, you would gain 10 DM's inspiration to start out with, but you gain 5 extra. Don't say anything.
Dash, help me. You gotta help me.
No, because I will say he can only spend at most 10 here if he wants. Before you roll, do you want to spend any? Yes.
I definitely do. I will
The
give
DC, by the way, is 35.
Yeah, you gotta help me with
Okay.
this.
You have a +9, right?
I have a +9.
And this is perception.
This is perception.
I'm gonna give you advantage. That's 2. Do I have gaseous DM's inspirations as well?
I will say you could have spread that out to the party as you saw fit.
Okay, I would have given 2 for that, and then 10 D4.
10
Jesus.
D4. You're gonna spend all those fucking dice, Gesh.
No. What is a good number? This for the 35?
Remember, it's 2 for advantage, and then a D4 each is 1 inspiration.
Karen, should I go with 5 D4?
I was guidancing myself, so you could, if you did that, I
I
would
will
have
say
60.
you can't guidance yourself here.
Okay,
Oh,
I
well.
must say 5 D4. That's
Okay,
7
that's
DMs.
that's fine. Thank you, Gesh. You are awesome.
Oh, trust me, you want to know this.
I think, to be honest, when I couldn't see them, and then there was other things, I thought it might have been Rotouche, but
You know,
Nah.
you know what? You
let's
want
see.
a little extra?
40.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
I'm gonna use a mark to make you re-roll that motherfucker.
I'm
What?
gonna use
I'll
one
use
of
the
my
DM's
DMs.
inspiration
I'm gonna use another
to
mark.
counter it.
Another DMs.
Another one.
Another.
Goddamn.
Another one. I'm at 4.
Another.
Another one. That's 5.
Another.
Another one. That's 6.
Another.
Another one. That's 7.
Another.
Another one. That's 8.
Another.
You're at 8. I'm at 9 now because I'm using another one.
I'll spend 1.
All right. I'm using my 10th one.
yeah.
I'll do it this time.
All right. I'm using my last one.
Still
Which
have
one of
one
us
remaining,
spends it?
Moria.
Who's
What?
spending it? Who's spending it? This is my 11th mark, so this is the 11th DM's inspiration you guys have to use here.
There are still the 5 from Gash that you two have.
Oh,
I would have given them
yeah.
to Moria as Gash.
okay.
Alright, you use
I'll
another one?
I'll spend. Would I have all 5 from Gash?
You would. Yes,
Yes.
he said so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will absolutely. I'm just gonna change Moria's to 5 because I would have had 6, and spend that one to make you not make me
Well, you
revolt.
spent 2 here because you spent this
Yeah.
one and a previous one, so you
Yeah,
beat
I
from
had to.
6 to 4. Oh wait, no, you've been at
No.
7, so 7 down to 5. Okay, you guys
Yeah.
just spent a lot of DM's inspirations, but you got rid of all the marks. So, Moria,
Yeah.
as this memory passes through your mind, you hear, "The deal is struck, Rotouche.
You motherfucker!
I guess.
She will not recall this until it's too late. And her sister's sanity is mine. Her souls of her parents are mine. But she lives. And so does her sister. There's a cord lord, this bargain is sealed by contract. It has been great working with you, Time Shatterer. And you watch as the black energy fades, and you can see a less elder Rotouche standing there, no gray to his body. Of course, it has been great working with you too, Oriel. Now get the fuck out of my sight. And you see Oriel transforms into a form you've seen before, Moria, into Thomas Micah, and he does a bow before vanishing into a circle. You watch as Rotouche looks down towards you in your fading bits of memories, and he looks to you as he kneels. Moros, or Moria, whatever you'll be, become great. Continue your research, and I may not have to shatter another timeline. However, hate me all you want. Strive to defeat me. That spite, that pride and arrogance that I've seen many times will either be your undoing or the end to this charade. This puppeteering of worlds and travel that Eminence seems to so enjoy. And when this is all over, hopefully you'll see what I've done and why I've done it, and we can sit over some tea. But that's unlikely. But for now, let's change you a bit. And you're bleeding on the ground, I'll say. And you watch he pulls out a potion and pours it onto you. With that 40, you see that it is a white potion. Moros. That's who you are. Before your eyes close.
Oh.
Moria.
Oh my god, they were Moria originally.
Drowia seemed to have been Moria originally. And you thought it was strange that you didn't pick it up beforehand. You're like, okay, there must be Moroses and Morias, but that's strange. A few memories start to flood back. A younger you, in dresses and heels, staring into a mirror as your sister begins to put makeup on your face, your long hair braided. Seems whatever was done to block your memories blocked out the information in your mind that you were indeed born Moria and not Moros. As this memory passes through your mind, you feel, because it was a natural 20 on that save, other memories start to pop up. You and your sister not hating each other. Very close indeed, actually. A third sister. You can't recall her, however.
And he said, oh shit.
Alright, you and your sister are not twins, correct?
No, I think she's older than me.
Alright. This third sister, the only thing you could recall is she's your twin.
I have a twin? Damn.
It seems so. I can't recall
Damn.
anything else about her. Additionally, you start to recall memories of your parents, you. The memories of them being assholes, complete dicks and bitches that were like, oh, I want to be a royal so bad, blah, blah, blah. Why couldn't I have been born better? Why do you two have to be so, like, and then putting that onto you fades completely. Your family was normal. Loving parents, loving siblings. You start to realize a lot of your mind had been modified. Your memories, your past. And your senseless pride didn't come from spite to your parents or spite to anybody else, but it actually did come from your father, stating you had to have pride in your name, your family, your blood. And he kept saying that every so often. But it wasn't you're better than everyone else. It's, we must be better than everyone else for who we are. You start to recall events in your life you didn't know you had. You start to recall crushes you had on boys when you were little. You recall a man named Tommy, or a boy named Tommy in the streets of Marsetheth. You recall where you gained your love of magic from. Where did you originally think it was, Moria?
A drive to, because my sister was a sorcerer and all I had was my genius, I wanted to compete with her in magic, because I thought that might have earned my parents' approval. So I studied magic and became a wizard through hard work instead of being born as a gifted student.
Similar to that. You wanted to stand by your sister's side rather than compete with her. You wanted to be able to help her understand her magic better. And that began your research. It wasn't fully about your parents, but wanting them to understand and wanting your sister to understand and help them figure out what was going on. You wanted to drive yourself to be the absolute peak of magic that you could to help your sister, to help your family. And as these revelations are coming through, what is going through Moria's mind?
She finds it ridiculous that Rotushus had such a personal hand in her life. She commends Eotis and Othin for killing, well, not killing, but defeating Thomas Micah in her stead. Slash Oriel. And that maybe she needs to get in contact with Sarius? Sorel?
Cerelius?
No, not Cerelius.
Oh, you mean S. S the mage. Okay, yeah.
No, not the mage. I meant the guy that has a hate boner for Oriel, the demon or devil.
It's not Surion. Surion works with him.
Oh.
If you mean the one who's been looking for him and is Kristoff's
Yeah.
guardian, that would be Asmodeus.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Hells, the judgment bearer of the Hells, the arbiter of judgment in the Hells.
Yeah.
A divine being cast from the heavens.
Yeah, gonna have to. Moria's thinking like, gotta discern Oriel's location so I can inform Asmodeus for maybe my sister's sanity back, and kill this bitch.
You know devil contracts are hard to get by, but you also know if you don't accept it, which there seems to be some mindfuckery that may have happened to force you to accept it, there's a small chance you can get out of it. And I will say, because you've been there before, you know of one really good fucking lawyer in Rivers.
Yeah.
Named Grog Barrows.
Maybe we should take a break here to process this whole information.
And as this information passes through your mind, and a lot of strange things that didn't make sense before start to make a lot more sense. And a lot of things that made sense before crack and break and start to make less sense. You realize for the first time in your life, your mind is actually free from whatever fuckery has happened with it. You start to realize, I'll say, Moria actually starts to... A single tear drops down her cheek, Drowia, before she comes out of this strange vision and, wipes it away quickly. This all happened for you, this was hours in your mind, Moria. But for you, Drowia, it was just a second she stopped talking, and then a tear ran down her face and she threw it off.
Moria, what's wrong with you, my dear?
Oh, hold on, I'm actually writing all this down.
Maybe we should take a quick break here.
I will say, as you ask her what's wrong, as Ocarin finishes and comes back outside and sees this scene as well, you watch as Eotis finally stops shitting in the bathroom and starts to pull up his pants and come out, a waft of bad smell coming out with him. You watch as Emilex, who'd been busy for quite some time, starts to step up and goes, "Hey, why are you crying?" As these four begin to approach you, Moria, and you start to sort your mind out as much as you can, that is where we're going to end the session. Thank you everyone for watching,
Alright.
and we're going to stop recording.